we have some big lead in connection with the Pune murder cover-up case now. It's a big update. VVIP Brat's mother, the killer, the VVIP killer's mother, Shivani Agarwal, has been arrested in the Pune Porsche cover-up case. So that's the big lead, viewers. Just today after we told you that the killer, the VVIP killer's blood sample was swapped with that of a woman. And we did tell you yesterday that it is expected that the mother will also now come under the radar of the investigative agencies and could be questioned. She has been, in fact, arrested, and she was quizzed already yesterday. And now the family is completely, you can see the father, the mother, the grandfather, they're all in police custody. They're of course, not everybody is in police custody. There's also judicial custody. But right now what we know is that the mother has been arrested right now. That's the latest arrest from the mafia family. Grandfather and father are in custody already now. The mother has been arrested after she was questioned yesterday over the blood sample theory. Remember, there were 2 blood samples taken. We told you yesterday that even the friends' blood samples of that VVIP killer were also swapped. And as far as this killer VVIP is concerned, it is suspected that his blood sample was swapped with that of his mother, and all this to save him, to bail him out. And now Shivani Agarwal, the mother of the VVIP killer, and Vishal Agarwal, his father, his wife Shivani Agarwal, has been now arrested. It's a big lead coming in right now. Republic TV keeping you ahead in this investigation. And that's the latest update we have right now. The father and the grandfather already in custody. And the killer's mother has also been arrested now. And we will get you more details coming up. But right now, remember, viewers, yesterday we told you about the nexus of this family, this mafia family, how it is connected with the NCP MLA Sunil Tingre, how there is, as per sources, a 12 crore deal that was struck to, in fact, bail out this killer. And it involved manipulation or tampering or destruction of evidence, blood samples, if we talk about. And now, after the mother was questioned, she has been arrested this morning. So that's the big update. Was the mother's sample, swapped? That is the big question. She was questioned on it. She was grilled by the police on that. And now, finally, remember, the police and its investigation, and there have been many loopholes. The Republic TV has been exposing all the lacunas in this case. And now, under pressure, we see what's happening. The father goes to jail, the grandfather goes to jail, and the mother is arrested. So the entire, it's entire family that is now, it's a big trouble for the entire family. And the mafia family, the super rich family, the connected, well-connected family, they are all now under arrest. That's the big update we have right now. And this is a blood sample theory that we have been telling you since quite some time. We have been getting you all the updates on that. There have been many suspicions. First, there were 2 blood samples that were collected. Pune Commissioner says to Arnab Goswami on the interview, he says that there was a gap of 3 to 4 hours. 2 days later, in a press conference, they say there was an 8 to 9 hour gap. And then later on, they admit that one of the sample was destructed, was thrown in the dustbin. Niranjan is joining us live on the broadcast for more. Is in fact joining us on the phone line. Niranjan, now the grandfather, the father and the mother, they're all under arrest. The party is over, at least for now. What we are understanding is that under pressure, the investigative agencies are working. And now the killer's mother is arrested. And there are questions over, was her blood sample swapped with that of her son?
Well, there were reports in the last few days that the mother of the juvenile was not traceable, and that it was her sample that was given. The police had also said in the court that the sample of a woman was given, and it was not the juvenile sample. It's also very interesting that the mother of the VVIP killer, was at the police station that morning. She was at the police station throughout, and she was spotted by different people, including the 3 eyewitnesses who spoke to Republic TV and described in great detail about the role of the mother. The mother is very important here because while the father and the grandfather were also involved in the cover-up, the mother was directly at the police station So she was accomplice in the crime of covering up key evidence and destroying evidence. And we know that the blood sample of this VVIP killer was thrown in the dustbin. And when she was in the station, her samples were taken. She was also perhaps in the hospital, and her samples were given. So she was accomplice in the crime. There is also reports of how she may have played a key role in trying to bribe the entire system, including doctors, police, and fixers, to try and cover up this case. So her role becomes extremely critical, and she was absconding for a while is what we heard. She was not visible in Pune. It's been over 2 weeks now, and finally it appears that she's been arrested. Her game too is over.
Niranjan, and, there were already a lot of suspicions, the fact that there were 2 samples that were taken, which we have not heard of. Even the forensic experts have said, they have told Public TV that they also haven't seen this procedure of taking 2 blood samples. And then we have been exposing the flip-flop, the changing of statements by the police about the gap. And they were well aware that how it could actually affect the level of alcohol in the blood. And the fact that the blood, it took more than 100 hours for even the blood sample to be received by the agency, by the police rather. That itself raised so many questions. And now under pressure, because Republic TV has been continuously, unrelentingly, leading this campaign. Now we see that suddenly the mother's role is becoming very clear. She should have been questioned much earlier, isn't it?
Well, she should have been questioned earlier, and for some reason the police did not clarify the role of the mother. In fact, even the police commissioner has been asked several times the question on the role of the mother in this particular case. He's been very, very wishy-washy, and now, finally, I think we'll have to go back and watch the tape production. I can look at what the police commissioner has said. Because at every stage, they've been sort of back-footed on this issue, never forthcoming with the full facts, almost like it's incremental truths that come out of the story. They say something, end up doing something else a few days later, and then when the media exposes it, they're arresting someone else. Just look at the sequence of events. You question them about the blood samples, the gaps, and they contradicted themselves in a news conference. The police commissioner had a news conference. He contradicted himself in our interview. He said 3 to 4 hours, and then in a news conference he said 8 to 9 hours. He knew the game was up, and that is why he kept changing his own version. So the police has been changing its version, and they maintain their own version in the case of the VVIP killer's mother as well. Specific questions were asked about the role of the mother. Specific questions were asked about the father. And eventually, you see the grandfather's role. Police didn't even talk about the grandfather. In the first news conference that was held, when the grandfather's links were asked about to the underworld, they said, yes, he faced a case in the past, but they never once talked about the kind of role he was involved in, the cover-up. So you look at the role of the police in covering up the grandfather's role, covering up the driver's role, covering up the father's role, and then covering up the mother's role. It is so suspicious. And I think it's all falling apart for the Pune Police and the Pune Police Commissioner. I think it's about time that the Pune Police Commissioner really steps down, because this is such a botched-up probe. It is such a shame that the police has let this happen. And I think the pressure is building up on him to step down.
Absolutely. All happening right under his nose. And of course, there are so many questions that are now being raised. Thank you so much for the moment, Niranjan, for joining us with those details on that big lead that we've got just now.